Okay, I got a treat for you. It's breakfast time, and we've got just gobs of eggs. So I'm going to do a recipe today that uses lots of eggs. And to me, it's kind of a breakfast, lunch, dinner thing that I make. And this is a really simple recipe. So funny thing is, this this recipe I got it from Pink Salmon box. Used to be what Sam's Club sold. And the salmon would come in a box, and on the box they had a recipe. And I usually take a recipe and I modify it to where it works for me. But I'm going to pause this for a minute so I can lock it in so that you can see it, and then I'll explain to you how I do this. All right, well, I'm going to talk while we're doing this. So right now, vegetable oil cooking spray, and that's for this. I find that I can cook in this. I'll say this is roughly what 6 by 12 pan or something. Probably should get a tape measure. They never mark them, so I don't know what it is, but I've just used this for years. And I spray it with cooking spray. And then it says 1.5 cups of fresh or frozen sweet pepper strips. I use jalapenos because I grow them in my garden. And I've got a whole bunch, even though this is La Costanilla. That's an old jar that I actually put my jalapenos in last year. So those are fresh jalapenos, well, at least from the fall. And 7 eggs, 1.5 cups water, Cajun or Creole seasoning. I use bold chipotle. That's a great seasoning. And then blacktop salmon. We're using double Q because that's what they sell now. It's Sam's Club. And shredded Colby Jack or Mexican cheese blend, and that's what we've got. And so use 3/4 cup and then 1/4 cup. But I'm going to add one more thing. And this is again from my prepper stash. We use it upstairs and we also have it stored downstairs. But this is something I had in one of my other videos explaining this is a really inexpensive potato storage. So these are dried potatoes. And basically I'm going to take a cup of those potatoes, stick it in this bowl with warm water of another cup of warm water, let it sit for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then you drain the excess off, and then we're going to lay it in the bottom here. And that's going to be our base, and that's really it's going to extend this meal and make it a really nice meal. So anyways, let me go ahead and start preparing this, and I'll show you how it works. All right, so I just took hot water from the tap, and then I dumped in an equal amount. So 1 cup of hot water, and then 1 cup of these potatoes, and I just kind of stir it in to make sure that they're kind of below the water, and we're just going to let that sit now. All right, now what I'm going to do is take the pan and spray the inside of this glass container so that it's going to release easy and just not make it a lot easier for cleanup later. All right, so I've got that coated. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and start breaking my eggs into a bowl. And I'll also take the salmon and I'm going to open it out, dump it in another bowl, and we're going to kind of debone it. You really don't have to do it. It's just more appetizing not to have the bones, because the way they're cooked, the bones are actually edible. But we've always kind of removed it just to, makes a nicer dish. All right, I forgot to mention, these are eggs that we grow in our backyard from our chickens. We can't really grow eggs, but we grow chickens that grow our own eggs. And I'm just going to tell you, the yolks on these are just so fresh looking. It's just amazing. I love when we have our fresh eggs. They taste so great. And I believe we're getting, really good size eggs for our new Rhode Island Reds that are, just started laying in January. So this is fantastic to have fresh as you can get. So this is going to be another semi-homemade recipe. So we got our jalapenos that were from our garden. We got our eggs. And the rest is store-bought, but it still makes a fantastic recipe. I want to give you a quick glance of our the amount of eggs we got. I mean, we saved containers for because we just get so many eggs. We're getting 10, 12 eggs a day, and so I've got to start coming up with ways of, like, we'll have to hard boil some, whatever, so that we can start eating these things up, because they accumulate very quickly if you're not eating eggs every day. So this is what the salmon looks like coming straight out of the can. And you can see some bones there, you can see some skin. I remove all of that and just get it to just the flesh only. Or I should say the meat only. And again, it makes a much more appetizing meal. But some people don't waste anything. It's all edible in here. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just I like to make a more prettier dish. Okay, so I removed the skin and the bones, and there's really hardly anything that's removed. Just some of the bigger bones. And I've also saved the eggshells, and the reason why is we have chickens. They eat everything. So I usually mash up the eggs, throw it out there, eggshells, and they will eat these like crazy, and it's good for them. The other thing is I take my fingers and I kind of just break this up into where it looks a little bit more like tuna fish, and because we're just going to distribute this throughout the recipe now. So now what I've got to do is chop up some of the jalapenos, and we're really long ways along. In fact, if you look at these have absorbed the water already, so they're looking pretty good. They're a little bit longer to go, but I've still got a little more preparation. My apologies, but when I cook, I'm not a real big measuring kind of guy, but I took one of these serving spoons, slotted serving spoons, and I just took a couple scoops out of my container, and boy, am I getting low on jalapenos. It's a good thing the season's starting over again. I do have some canned down in quart-sized jars too, but this is the one I've been working on for months, and it's just about gone. All right, so let me chop these up. Just wanted to give you an idea how many. I don't know what that is. That might be 3 or 4 average size jalapenos. All right, so basically what I did is I took those rounds and I basically quartered them. So I don't mince them up to real small pieces, but depends your sensitivity to jalapenos. It's probably a good idea to wear gloves when you're cutting these up. I can't remember how hot these were. Just for speed, I didn't put gloves on, and I'll probably be sorry later when I, rub my eyes or something, but it's highly recommended that you do this. So now we're ready to combine ingredients. So I'm basically going to whisk up the eggs. I'll probably add just a little bit of moisture with the eggs, and I'm going to, put the jalapenos in there. I'm going to put the salmon in there. I'm going to put part of the cheese. In fact, it tells you to take, what was it? Yeah, you stir in 3/4 cup of the cheese into the mix, and then we're going to put the other 1/4 cup over the top, and those are just rough estimates. You can do anything you want. How much? If you like more cheese, put more cheese. It's not going to affect the recipe that much. All right, so let me start putting this all together. To me, this recipe is no different than like if you're making scrambled eggs. So you just kind of whisk the eggs up. I put about a 1/2 cup of water in there, and now I'm going to go ahead and add these other ingredients. Okay, everything's in there right now except for the cheese and some of the seasoning. Now, you can use about anything. It recommends like a creole seasoning or something, but this bold chipotle is something that I like. This is a little coarser mix than, because it's normally seasoning that you put on chicken or you put it on, pork chops, whatever, but it's, I really like this. This gives the type of flavor that I'm looking for. And besides, I can't find my creole seasoning, so I've used this in a pinch more than one time. Now, depending on your taste, a little dab will do you, but it's kind of like the amount of jalapenos in here. That might be more than what a normal person would want, but I kind of like things spicy. My wife does not like fish, so this is all for me, so I get to make it the way I want to. But, if you have somebody else who doesn't like it quite as spicy, I recommend you just get some sriracha and make it lightly spiced, and then you just add sriracha on top. In fact, sometimes I still end up adding sriracha because I just like it. All right, everything is in there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take these hash browns. It doesn't look like there's any any water in there at all. Normally what you do is drain off any excess water, but we don't have any. So all I'm going to do is dump this in here. We're going to spread it out. And there was a little bit of water, but not much. And this is just going to be your base. Pretty easy, huh? I like easy recipes. Although my dad was a big cook, and we would cook some stuff, and we'd be in the kitchen for hours cooking. So I'm not against it. It's just I got other stuff to do. All right, so now I got to take this container, one-handed. That's actually pretty heavy now, and we just try to dump it over the top here. All right, got that done. The only thing I'm going to do is try to bring it over to the edges just a little bit here. And you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to turn the stinking oven on. What are we supposed to put it at? Probably like 400, yeah, 400 degrees. Okay. So let's get the oven going. Bake. Well, that would have sped things up if I'd had the oven going. All right, 400, and on this oven, you got to hit stinking starter. It won't do anything, except for 5 minutes later, it'll beep at you and say, what are you trying to do? Okay, now, the last thing we got to do is take some more cheese. You put that over the top. This will give it a nice appearance. Notice I'm not measuring. I just stick my hand in the bag and grab a handful and decorate it the way you like. But it basically said you were supposed to mix a 3/4 cup in the egg mix, and then you put another 1/4 cup on top. I'm probably 3/4 cup, 3/4 cup. But anyways, that's the way I like it. All right, let's put this on pause, and then we got to wait to see how long is this supposed to cook. I occasionally even use recipes. Bake for 20 minutes. Okay. Man, I'm hungry. I'll have to make a little snack while I'm waiting, get some fruit out or something. Tell you, if you really want to do this right, this would be really good if you took an onion and you diced it up, and maybe even some bell peppers, and dice them up and just kind of pan fry them a little bit and then throw them in this recipe. That would be another way to extend this and make this even better. But I wasn't planning on being in here for an hour doing prep for all this, and it's one more pot I'd have to wash. So this is kind of a one pan dish, except for a couple bowls that I had to use for mixing things up, and then we're gonna have a meal here in 20 minutes. Can't wait. And there she is. So when you take it out, just kind of lift one end up and then the other, and just make sure there's no slop still in there. It actually has cooked all the way through. All the juices have been absorbed, and the hash browns help with that as well. So sometimes if you might make this a little sloppy, it's just going to take a little extra time. Let me go ahead and cut out a slice and show you what it looks like. Anyways, it's a nice hearty meal. This is actually really nice. This would go with some grits and a bunch of fruit and everything, but guess what? I'm here all by myself. I'm just going to eat it just like this, and I'm probably going to eat a third of this just in this meal. This is a really good meal. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. This is again using a lot of things that we have available here. We'll have fresher ingredients as the garden gets going here, and but you know, if you can still use from your garden. That's what I did today. If you grow your own chickens and have eggs, same thing. All right, I hope everybody's treating you well. I hope you're doing well, and God bless.